Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's GPR legislative update brought to you by Texas Association of School Psychologists. I am Ashley Arnold. I am currently the delegate for NASP for our state of Texas and also a proud member of the TASP GPR committee. Happy to be here today and sharing with you some update of what's been going on in our legislative session. So just as a reminder of how a bill becomes a law, pretty important here in the last couple of weeks of the 87th session, just a reminder, a bill that starts in one chamber has quite a lengthy process to go to. And then once it gets through that, it has to go to the other chamber and repeat that same process before a bill becomes a law. All right, so let's start off with bills that TASP has supported this session. So no real change on either of these first two bills. I will let you know that TASP is continuing to pursue other avenues regarding the title change bill. So we have not given up the fight on that. We will keep our members posted whenever there's a call to action. But please know we're continuing to explore other ways to make this happen in the last couple of weeks of the 87th legislative session. House Bill 4041, though, did make some movement this week. It has been placed on the general state calendar, which is calendars is kind of the last step to go before it goes over to the other chamber. So that's in regards to a suicide prevention policy in residential child care facilities. House Bill 144 had some movement this week. It has been passed to engrossment, which means it's almost gotten off of calendars. This is the bill regarding a IEP supplement for children that receive special education services and the discussion of whether compensatory services are needed. So that should be headed to the Senate any day now. House Bill 1114, which is regarding mental health services and mental health education at school-based health centers. The House bill has not made any movement in this last week, but the companion bill, Senate Bill 325, not once, but twice in this last week has been placed on the intent calendar. Hopefully it will move off of calendars and go over to the House in the next couple days. House Bill 2287, which is really looking at the Texas Education Agency reporting on mental health services that are provided. That has passed all the way through the House, and the Senate has received that bill. So it's halfway through its legislative journey. House Bill 2954, in regards to suicide prevention, intervention, postvention program at elementary school campuses. That has made it all the way through the House, and the Senate has received that bill with that. House Bill 1014 and House Bill 1754, very similar. It's in regards to printing suicide prevention information on ID cards. The first one, 1014, has made it all the way through the House and has been received over in the Senate. 1754 has almost made it all the way out of the House. It has been placed on the general state calendar, so hopefully it will go over to the Senate in the next day or two. House Bill 24 regarding inclusive and accessible playgrounds has also been placed on the general state calendar this week. So a couple of bills that Amanda reviewed with you last week that TASP did voice opposition to. The threat assessment database one and regarding expelling kids who make a terroristic threat. No movement on either one of those bills this week, so they're still left pending in committee, which is good. All right, other bills that TASP has voiced opposition to, especially in regards to anti-LGBTQ bills. So last week, Amanda talked to you about Senate Bill 29, which is related to UIL activities based on biological sex. So we were kind of happy last week because the House, so remember this one's made it all the way through the Senate and is now over in the House. So last week, the House Public Education Committee voted on it. However, it did not receive enough votes to get out of committee, so we were happy. Well, however, this week, it came back up again. So Representative Dutton is the chair of the Public Education Committee. And what I'm going to do is kind of first give you some background on this particular bill. So Representative Dutton had a bill that was related to the ongoing legal battle between TEA and Houston ISD regarding giving the commissioner of TEA the authority to take over school boards when they fail to meet certain measures. Dutton is from Houston ISD. And so, in addition to, he had a bill about this. This bill got left. It did not get voted on because of a technicality. Dutton was pretty upset about this. So, in retaliation, he shared, he did this in Public Education Committee this week. So, we're going to play this clip for you right now.
I don't know how big this problem is, and I wish I did because I'd be in a better position to make this vote. But I can tell you this, the bill that was killed last night affected far more children than this bill ever will. And so as a consequence, the chair moves that Senate Bill 29 as substituted
Not true.
be reported favorably to the full House with a recommendation that it do pass and be printed and show the chair voting aye. I did because I'd be in a better.
So basically, what happened here is the bill was dead in the House committee and Senate Bill 29. And Dutton got unhappy. And so what he did was bring it back, basically. So previous vote, he had voted, he abstained from voting. Representative Huberty, also on the Public Ed Committee, was absent the previous week. He was back there this week. So now the that particular bill was voted out of committee. So it's not a law just yet. Remember, it's just been voted out of House committee. It does have to go to calendars in the House, get through that process. So it's still got some ways to go before it becomes law, but TASC will be keeping an eye on this. No real changes on the bills related to defining abuse of a child when dealing with transgender children. So thankfully, no action on those bills. So here at the end, I'm just going to throw in some other bills that you may find of interest that TASP is monitoring. House Bill 159 is related to including information in teacher prep programs about teaching students with disabilities. That has passed the House and is actually was scheduled for a hearing today in the Senate Education Committee. House Bill 1016 relating to active shooter drills. Amanda alerted you guys to this one last week. TASC did provide some comments in regards to best practices about this. It has been sent to the local and consent calendar in the House. So still got a little bit more than halfway to go. House Bill 332 relating to schools being able to use their compensatory education allotment dollars on social emotional learning. The House did pass that bill this week and the Senate has received it. House Bill 240, which is related to mental health parity, mental health insurance parity for children with emotional disturbance. The House has placed that on their state calendar. So hopefully it will move over to the Senate sometime soon, as the Senate companion bill has not had any movement on that. The next one that you guys may have heard about is House Bill 3880. This is related to a student's eligibility for special education services, including dyslexia. So why TASP is keeping an eye on this one is this bill would define a student with a disability under IDEA as a student that has dyslexia or a related disorder. So that would certainly change the way dyslexia is viewed in the state of Texas. So that again has been placed on the general state calendar. So almost halfway through the legislative process yet. Last one that you may have heard about this week, House Bill 3979. At first glance, may not have caught your eye relating to the social studies curriculum that is taught in public schools. However, this bill, when you look into it, is in regards to critical race theory. And it would say, the bill says that a teacher may not be compelled to discuss a particular current event or widely debated and currently controversial issue of public policy or social affairs in the classroom. So just keep an eye on this. It has passed all the way through the House and it has been received in the Senate. And then the companion bill to this passed the Senate, and it has been referred into the House. So each of those bills that say the same thing have gone through their respective chambers, and have headed over to the other chamber. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. So thanks for listening today. Be sure to follow us on our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check out our website or feel free to email us at governmentrelations@txasp.org. We hope you all have had a good week. And we'll just like to close with a bill that did become a law this week, House Bill 1024. So be sure to look that one up in case that might make you have a better weekend. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next week.